side. It's going to be a curveball, and for Heroic, well, the outlook doesn't look all that much better for them themselves, but the key thing to remember is the fact that they only take on tier 1 opposition in this on this map. So ENCE are in there, G2 are in there, Liquid are in there, Mouse are in there. Yes, they had a loss against Heat during Pro League, which might throw another spanner into the works, but this is the reality that they've been picked in by the OG side, and I think the Heroic are bound to take a great opportunity right here, especially if they carry on the momentum from the end of that last map.
It's about getting started with the pistol as well. You've got a couple of sets of Julies out for Tessus and Yabby. We're starting to see so much more Julie action over the course of this RMR.
Been the weapon of choice for many people here in these pistol rounds, and Tessus and Yabby is their weapon of choice. Stan, however, taking contact with the USP into the A site on that ramp control. The flashes and smokes are sent up and over, and they'll charge up towards Alley 4. Tessus trying to make his move in. As one player to find, NEOFRAG and Flames get those kills. 3 on the trot, 1 traded back for Shush. Bomb will get planted.
Try and get that down. Stan and Co just trying to see if they can muster anything up. There's even a backstab coming through from Fiku.
1 back for Shush, at least 3 on 2, but you're right, that backstab's going to be the big thing for them. No eyes set towards Elevator, and he waits for his chance. Shush slowly being crept up upon. He's going to evade the ire of the block shot. Oh, he almost misses the head, but he does get it in the end. Down, not even being seen. There's 1 headshot back for him, and the second diffuse kit not for him though. Needs to try force Nexus out. Shoulder bait sees him out in the open, aggressing forward, and Nexus won the round at this stage. Down hasn't got time. Will try hunt for the pick back and won't get it. It's a pistol for OG.
Nexa in clutches has been incredibly impressive over the course of this best of 3. We saw it in the last map of Inferno. We've now seen it there on the pistol, just wasting time. Jiggle peek, allowing that information to flow, and then fall back to safety. Get up there towards the top of the ramp, not peek at all. Now, Heroic are thinking about the force up, try and see if they can put that pressure straight on. Backstab attempt was real nice there from Fiku, and you could see for Heroic, they wanted to pop flash themselves through that right-hand side smoke and just put all the impact in. Instead, the Glocks come out on top.
Heroic down to the force invest very early with these Deagles, SMG and the Scout. cadiaN shot ringing out towards mid as Yabby right behind him, and the pistols able to hold out for the time being. Shush's SMG gets involved with 3 on 3, and cadiaN can't quite land his headshots, neither his tags. Overwhelmed by the Mac 10. Still Shush recovering an AK and turning it to a 2 on 2 here.
Looks very promising, and knowing the idea that Shush has now got a backstab set up into mid, Tessus can offer up that respect, give them the control of CT spawn, try and drive them into A.
What they're going to do as well, fall for the trap behind the 5-7, needs the headshot, can't do it. Backstab from Shush, very far away, and they read it as well. They know exactly where he got the kills from. Smoke up at Elevator, going to stall for time, no kit for this retake. And the 1 on 2, he's going to try press it anyway.
Incredibly tough situation for Shush to work with and try and hope that anyone's going to be pressed up aggressively towards this smoke. But without that kit, like you mentioned, the time is going to be so valuable.
Trying to prod. See anything. Dexter catches him off guard and recovers that AK for the T side. 2-0 to OG start. Heroic forced up. Got nothing. That's down to Eco.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that a pistol that he went over to grab towards that left-hand side? It just made a sound cue. And straight away, you can see the way that Dexter is able to respond off of the back of it. I know that his teammate Tessus went down with that 5-7, but in that situation, 1v2, where you just want to try and save onto the rifle rather than making a sound cue at all, I would have liked to have seen just a hard save. This is a bit of an interesting buy. Shush has now brought down another hero M4. We remember seeing this on Inferno for Stan, right?
I think we did. That was cadiaN that took it up. Regardless, Stan is set here in this round with it. M4 looking up and over the smokes, hoping that there's a T-side player that extends towards the stairs or gives up the ghost back at the main entrance. Of course, no one is on stairs, so Stan's going to focus on the main entrance itself. But seeing nothing of OG as of right now.
Now, they're going to have to get as much out of this as possible. Otherwise, this is going to lopside the economy. Stan even gets a dink off against Flame somehow.
He hadn't lost as much HP on Nexus, then maybe that would have been a decent double up. 5 on 3 for Heroic. Instead, it turns to the favor of the T's. Dexter's Mac 10 rips straight through to SS. No Kevlar. So no problems. Bomb going to commit. Will get planted. Maybe Heroic can grab that rifle picked up off the dead body of Stan. Don't know what Nexus had. He might have had an SMG or another AK. If they haven't got rid of it, then they can get that as well.
Fiku averages 1.32 rating in the last 3 months for OG on Vertigo. One of the best maps in the pool from him. One of the maps that, even in his previous iteration of AGO, was a very strong map for him. Definitely an individual to keep an eye out for on this T side. And for Heroic, just looking for some exit frags, trying to keep this round a little bit more expensive.
What? Okay, that was a little bit random for VQ, a little bit twitchy, and it's going to cost them quite a lot here. This is an expensive round. NEOFRAG does maintain control with a 3K, but even so, that's 3 casualties for OG.
It's all right, laugh it off. You're 3-0 up, and let's focus on the next round. Coming to the rifle. Now, we know for Heroic there will be some limitations. You had the idea of the force up in the previous, so it means that the certain individual of Shush is going to be lower on money as well for Stown that bought down receiving that M4. Everybody else should be pretty good, though.
Guns back, of course, for Heroic. Investment for the M4s. See what they can find here in the mid-control. Flames will try and press forward. Be the leading man of the mid-control. cadiaN will try block them. That's what you can do with Yabi support. 2 players of the crossfire. I think a counter is back to the and they all line up for cadiaN and Yabi. 2 come back for NEOFRAG, but it's an advantage for Heroic.
And they'll be happy with what they've achieved there. Even Fiku trying to see if he can come out from the B stairs. You've got a player out to white, swinging into the open. Shush would have seen him.
Sprays through, trying to catch Fiku. Still M4 engages, burst up. There goes the man. NEOFRAG at 10 points of HP for the ace clutch. That's not going to happen at all. Heroic winning this round from the word go, it seems.
HE placement towards default. Going to do some decent damage onto Shush. And with the molly too, he's going to have to be very defensive. This opens up a chance for a bomb plant of NEOFRAG.
Concern's going to be Stown more than anything else. Shush is caught, but Stown quick to respond. Swing out for the headshot, AK in his hands. And that is an opening gained by Heroic.
And we know that for the Heroic side, we've only seen 1 victory out of the last 5 on Vertigo. So maybe that's also something that OG have looked at. The idea that we need to go a little bit off kilter, bit off center when it comes to what our map pick is going to be. We've seen some losses to Finest on LAN, Mal's on LAN, Liquid on LAN. The only victory being against ENCE 16-10 in Pro League. And then, of course, like you mentioned earlier, that loss to Heat very recently.
You have a very broken buy here for the back of Heroic first. Damage done to the economy state. Next up, Tech9, Galil's on 2. Forward cadiaN engaging, but losing a lot of HP for his trouble. No casualties taken yet, but OG have a confident start.
They don't actually act off of the back of it. They do a lot of damage onto cadiaN. They actually retreat rather than keeping the tempo and trying to see if they can split themselves up through the scaffolding. Break that boost apart, and Heroic have got quite a heavy setup towards A as of right now. You have just Tessus jump spotting from the ramp sandbags to catch information. 3 on B, 1 on mid, and OG starting to gain some of that ramp presence.
Jump face from one man at Tessus. Look for the info. Doesn't see anything yet. Now he does. 4 players of information. In fact, incendiary sent. Blocking them away from ramp and calling the entire CT force out here.
Dexter's still looking to try and see if he can cut a rotate, try and see if he could force perhaps even a body out into the open. I wonder if OG read this and bring the bomb back to B.
Nice play from Shush in this case. Flash down away from Down. There were the lineups doing so much damage despite being blind. Shush deals with that backstab. Now it's all of the 3 players in from the alley control. Tessus up close, sees them all, and lines up with cadiaN's double to make it a second round for Heroic.
I don't know if it's just me there, Jay, but did you feel like more was going to get created? When you think about the idea that you've got ramp control, you've got the cross smokes, you've got a backstab in mid, there was only 1 kill there for OG.
Yeah, I do see where you come from with that. I think the thing is that Shush shut down the backstab, and of course, Stown got that opening kill with so much damage being done, so the HP bars were ripped apart. The backstab was taken away. Any crutch that OG had to stand on at the mid part of that execution was just removed by Heroic effectively. Now they're down to Eco with another round without a bomb plant, it seems. Start out for Heroic has turned into such success thus far, and they can try and equalize against the OG side. cadiaN with such confidence as well to make his way all the way down ramp. and they're forced to back off.
But you do wonder whether that's going to be to the detriment of the lack of bomb plants. Oh, nice breakdown coming through from cadiaN. The anti-eco frags, not quite the ace downs there for the recovery, so it's only one player to drop. 3-3, very similar vibes to what we got in the last map. Competitive from the start, back and forth. It's whether it continues that way. When are we going to see OG muster up the control, start forcing down? I mean, even someone like Dexter, we haven't seen him AWPing so far, and that's kind of been due to the economy state. So getting him on the big green quickly is going to be important.
Well, first tactical called in by OG here. Heroic equalizing the situation. Guns can come back, of course, for the T sides. This is their main chance to shut it down. You mentioned the anti-eco in the previous one. Not much done to cadiaN in this case. Of course, he did go down, but it was an M4 lost, so not like they lost an AK in this one. Nothing that they can't recover with the buyback. Money is also starting to build extremely early here for Heroic. A little bit lopsided on Yabi's part. But generally, the float is pretty much on for a rebuy in round 8. So OG got a little bit of work to do to fully reset Heroic here.
Bit of pace coming through from Flames to get out towards the B stairs. Try and see if he can work around his own lurk smoke. Now, he's seen nothing aggressive for the moment, but it's whether that continues to be the action, because there is 2 on B.
Two players walking into the stairs. Shush. Okay, set. Flashes over Martov's in. All falls forwards. Gray's a little bit awkward. So Dexter and Flames can overwhelm the B site. 5-on-3. No one else is here. Rotations or bust for Heroic.
And Tessa's got to try and get those utility usages in correctly. The HE and the incendiary to go down to default.
Good nade. cadiaN doesn't check the forward corner though. Flames reinstates the man advantage for OG. Another HE to land towards that man. So decent utility damage to reduce them and try set up the retake still for Heroic. One more player that's also low in Dexter. Stands and fights in the boost up though. Tesses looking around towards quad. The smoke's in the way, will stop his vision, but nobody's there in the first place.
Pop flash coming through from Stout. Tess is going to have to pop off the back of it.
Moving in. Doesn't see Dexter, doesn't see Dexter, sees Dexter now. Dexter, the element, engage the pond, spray through. Tesses goes out. Nexus wins that fight, and Stout now has to save. No choice in the matter. OG defend the lead.
Yeah, that's actually a very powerful flash where if you're holding from the back of AC, you won't get blinded. It pops right in front of it. But it's the action that OG just aren't peeking. You've got the quad angle, you've got back towards one of the orange boxes, just not forcing fights out into the open. And OG cracking the offensive when it comes to some of those entry kills down on B. Nicely done. You could see that being a tidy round from them.
Right, with their chance to claim the lead now. OG clapped them right back. Of course, that M4 staying in is vitally important because, again, the money's a little bit lopsided for the Heroic side, so they keep all 5 rifles in. AWP cadiaN. Quick out from Yabi, seen there by Flames, but also detected himself. Nay's back to adjust. Yabi trying to fight with the USP. Molotov sent towards the position. Might drive him into the corner here. I think he's safe in this position. Smoke down to ensure that he does get away alive.
This is just manic. This is just both teams putting so much out towards the B stairs. And rather than Yabi slow walking up the stairs and retreating, he's actually staying around.
I think he might still be here as well for OG. Oh, the flash is forward. Flames is going to get caught. Yabi drops down as well. Sticks around the lower levels alongside Shusha's crossfire. Meanwhile, out towards the ramp default, cadiaN might just get overwhelmed. The mistake shot missing out. NEOFRAG does a lot of damage.
Yabi still here. So much confidence out to the B stairs. Him and Shush have to play off one another.
They are aware of him still. Fiku checks it. Headshot gain. Nexus low. Dexter up to task with the crossfire of Shush. They dismantle this whole thing. Drop the bomb. Incendiary or Nexus will drive him back. He can't stick around there. 4-5 still alive for Heroic. Still no casualties for OG. Now Nexus in a 1-on-5 himself. And this will be Heroic equalizing again.
Oh, the Danes doing well. I love that sequence. It's just high pressure and it's just manic Counter-Strike. It's just so much distraction going on. You've got HGs everywhere. You're playing around the utility. You've just got manic amount of bullets being spammed through the B stairs. And OG just kind of offer up dry peaks, don't they? Rather than sort of flash around the corner or perhaps have a molly to go down, it's very dry. And it allows Shush and Yabi to play off one another and allow a massive amount of success to be gained towards the B stairs.
Even standing Heroic. Once again, matching OG head to head, blow for blow. As has been the case for this entire series so far. Nothing has changed in that sense here between the first and second maps. I'm surprised Yabby got away with as much as he did here. Tagged to 39 so early and still got 2 kills with an assist. OG now down to the Deagles. Deco around the saved AK. Heroic. Rifle basis game, charging up towards the ramp default. Tessis' AK will be the charge.
And just trying to see if he can play around that smoke. You got Nexer on the other side with that hero AK. We've tended to see a lot of these hero weapons be highly successful for both teams in the series.
Nade set, Deagles of Fiku. Contact SS gets domed in. NEOFRAG wins that fight. All important start, but better follow up the Stown with a crossfire locked out. Nexa responds, but Yabby holds the line and holds the round for Heroic.
The right adaptation there from Heroic. They lose that first player very quickly and they just mass fight towards the top of ramp. Don't give that respect forward and that tradability for rifles to get recovered there. Dexter trying to see if he can muster up anything towards the bottom of the forklift. Not to be. And it's kind of crazy to think that OG were up 3-0. It's very quickly that that vision of the early lead is disappearing.
Yeah, very similar starts to Inferno. So the difference is that Heroic got the early lead before OG started to take back control and win the half. This whole situation could mirror what we've seen already so far in this series. OG don't want to let that happen. Tactical pause has been called in as a result. Second utilized in just the first 9 rounds.
OG, remember what it will be like to play this map of Vertigo in the last RMR. I'm thinking back to the Swiss round 5 game against Eternal Fire where Vertigo was played. 14-16 loss for the international squad, eliminated themselves to not qualify for the major. Try and turn things around this time with their map pick. 1 round the difference. Nexer, of course, being on that hero AK in the last round means that he'll be down with the money float, so he's only got a dig. For everybody else, you're looking to be more of a reassurance in this round.
Look to those rifles. AK's on 3, of course. cadiaN's AWP is set in for Heroic, and look how aggressive he's getting there in that mid control. Is Tessis with the first strike, though. Frag found out towards, I believe, the ramp default or the alley default. Shot connects. Oh, what a shot to follow suit. Yabby now striking into the defense. He's got teammates in towards mid. Does barely even see flames and gets caught off as the flash starts to fade. Shush, backside, forced away. 3 on 2 as Fiku domes one back in towards mid. Down with a responsive. OG trying to make a lot of noise and raise hell here towards the B site. Nexa needs to be the damage dealer though. High HP and he finds Shush on a decent spray.
Just a flash around the corner. Stown started to retreat. He does have an incendiary. This could cancel the bomb.
It's on the back of Nexa here. Flames won't die trying to plant that bomb itself, which will provide support with the utility. Nice nade. But the Stown has repositioned all the way back towards ladder room. He's going for the rotation here.
Excellent composure in this round from OG. Fiku makes it so winnable with that double entry out from mid to help the B-site players get up to the stairs. And now for Stown, pressure starts residing on him to get the clutch together.
They have no idea that this backstab's inbound. We'll start to consider it soon. Yes, Flames will check it. Gets killed off anyway, 1-on-1. Nexa stands for the 2K. Stown stands for the 3. Looks around, checks the site. Oh, barely loses the fight. 8 HP for Nexa, but keeping OG in it at 5-5.
So this is, I believe, the 3rd clutch that Nexa has won over the course of this series. And it's getting a little bit wild, the idea that your in-game leader is stepping up to the fold in these 1vx situations and consistently coming out on top. Probably shows that there needs to be more support around him in some of these late round situations because, yes, that round is successful, but the economy could be crippled and it could be reset immediately.
Waste no time in the default setting for cadiaN, expecting there to be OG aggression up towards ramp. A lot of slow defaults played out in this series, so it doesn't shock me they put those smokes in and just try to bait Heroic forward. Heroic expecting a very different style though. Burst through the top, trying to find angles as the smoke starts to clear. One man and NEOFRAG starts to make his way up now. Heroic, yet to see him.
You'd give him the advantage in the duel against Teslas, just on the HP advantage alone. NEOFRAG showing presence out to the bottom of ramp. Elsewhere, there hasn't been much. Instead, it's just a regroup towards the lower side. Heroic have got 2 on B. You've even got a mid player down trying to search for information. cadiaN is still holding right up here with that AWP to the crane angle.
In for a pick to start off this round for Heroic's advantage. Of course, 60 seconds past it. Shot does get found. NEOFRAG first to fall. cadiaN put the smoke up towards Sandbags. Takes a very quick. Oh, he landed that as well. What a shot.
That's a ripper. That is a beautiful shot coming through from cadiaN. And now look at how quickly those rotations are coming through. They're going to stack up the A side.
Posted towards the alley position. They might even turn their emphasis towards alley, knowing that he's out there at ramp on the defensive to the back of the site somewhere, and that might be to their detriment. But OG setting up the utility here.
All about these initial cracks, these initial entries, and cadiaN's still holding super aggressive towards alley.
Stown sees the pop out towards the ramp entrance. Vertigo trades it. SS there with a lockout against 2. And that is a lead regained by OG, breaking the stalemate. Set up by cadiaN, though. Those 2 shots were so sick.
They were everything, and it was how quickly the adaptation is there for both the AWP to land a couple of kills, to allow the cavalry to get into the bomb site. You've got even your rifler of Tessus kind of playing off one another. 1 round lead. And this is what I'm talking about. The idea that Nexa gets a clutch, you come into the next round, you don't win it without a bomb fight, you reset, there's no money.
Worst case scenario in that extent. OG. Pistols pulled out as the basic PT-50s for Dexter and Fiku. As you mentioned, no Kevlar, no utility. This should be easy for Heroic. Shush will make it so alongside Yabby's double. 7-5 now for the CT side.
And you wonder for OG, when are we going to see the resurgence? Again, you consider the idea that it was a 3-0 start. It's now 5-7 down on your map pick of the T side. The only few rounds that they've won after that point have been individual. And again, to follow on the conversation of what we saw on the T side perspective of OG on Inferno, the lack of bomb plants, that is going to be a continuing factor here again. Every single round they've lost here on Vertigo has not had a bomb plant.
Another tactical call in by OG. It's not being their half and they know it. Still some breathing room, still some opportunity to make up the distance, but with the way the Heroic are playing right now, I have to question it and doubt it, because we're back in that same cycle that we saw at the turn of Inferno. Yes, Heroic are only just putting ahead of OG with a number of rounds in a row, but those rounds are coming without bomb plants here, and we need a bit more confidence from the T side.
Could be some quick pace. We haven't seen all-out aggression for a little while here from OG. And you've got the AWP of cadiaN playing out towards the alley position, slightly more passive than he was in the last round.
Slow as ever. OG slow walking into the ramp default. Up towards ramp at the top. cadiaN's going to get the back. His footsteps to be heard. He's got his knife pulled out. Thinking it's going to be easy. Fiku with a kill back, but Yabby with 2, making it a triple. Blocking out against everybody seeing NEOFRAG. Shoulder continues to spray until he runs out of ammo, which will cost him his life. A 2-on-2. Flamed is set for the backstab, but the CTs have the bomb. Have to account for this mid position. The nade sent towards NEOFRAG, and now Stown checks it. Flames almost wins that fight.
And they know what's going on. They know this backstab's involved. And now for NEOFRAG, he's got to pull more distraction from Flames to be able to get that bomb and to get it planted. Get themselves in a post plant.
Wraps over. Flames going to get caught. Dead. NEOFRAG still to clutch. And they're low HP here for Heroic. This is entirely doable for this AK. 49 and 40 versus his 86. Backs up towards alley. They make their way into the site. He'll check the backstabs and see nothing at all. Heroic On the site now, just eyes set on position. NEOFRAG slow walks, wraps around, looks over. Incendiary sent towards sandbags, but he's very far away from that. Sees the bomb, sees the diffuser, gets shushed. Perfect headshot. Nade out towards Stout, forced forward to the AWP. No kits on him. He's got it on his dead teammate here. Back to peak. Oh, and NEOFRAG wins the fight. It's a quadra. It's a 6th for OG.
That's another clutch that comes through, and the young man in NEOFRAG steps up when it matters most, keeps his calm, keeps the composure, because you can see how awkward that round was panning out. The idea that your backstab from the Flames eventually gets caught. You can see the way that it was Yabby to recover it for as much as possible. And that was a round in which Heroic did not realize that they were being walked up towards the top of ramp, got caught sleeping, and OG managed their 6th because of it.
Not quite the runaway that Heroic had hoped for here. OG trying to make this close as Dexter through the smoke gets Tesses, drops that opening frag. Heroic living it all mostly on Stout to try to get the trades. Backed up by cadiaN in the back of the site, being careful with that AWP's placement.
You can start feeling as if there's going to be a fight towards the tail end of this first half with success. Nade's going back and forth. It's up again.
Dexter just have to walk straight out, gets that kill. Yabby in the corner, doesn't get the kill on NEOFRAG. cadiaN with only 1 to return, and Heroic have been locked out of this one. Forced to save. Backstabs from mid of Flames. Will try hunting them after the fact. But this is 7 for OG, and it looks like we'll get another 8-7 half here, Dweg.
Nexa is getting some unreal timing on these contact plays towards the top of A. This has been 2 rounds in a row now where Heroic had just been caught sleeping, not aware of the fact that it could just be a run up towards the top of ramp, and you got players with nades out in the open, off of position, and it's just panic.
And this was one of the concerns I had at the start of the series, right? The mental fortitude of Heroic. Having played a series earlier on today, had the relaxation period maybe to heal, but maybe just to get out of the zone at the same time. And you see mistakes like that, knowing the day that we've all had here at the RMR. Might not be the end of Heroic's woes. However, they've taken their first tactical. They still believe in their confidence. One final round of the half. We'll see the bye be broken for the CT side.
You can see Exist and cadiaN having a bit of a chat there, trying to figure out what they need to change. And I'm sure Exist would have seen those catches of timings of the walks up towards the top of the ramp. So just addressing that issue and turning it into a positive note. The best thing that Heroic can do from this stance onwards is end the half without giving a leading streak back to OG. Even with the buy not being fantastic, you've got the AWP out for cadiaN, you've got a couple of FAMASas, an M4 and MP9. You do have plenty of nades, but only 1 kit. So if it does get forced into a retaking scenario, it is something that Heroic are going to have to think about.
You have to wonder as well if this has even been enough of a half for Heroic, even at 8-7. Their history is very CT-sided on this map. Let's see whether or not in the second half anything will be found by the Danes. OG nades back against Nexa and NEOFRAG to start, trying to dish out some damage. The AWP of cadiaN creeping closer and closer to contact, unawares of how close they really are. NEOFRAG has been seen, but a shot does not connect.
And that extra pace and that acceleration on the walk forward down to the lower ramp, it's pacey, but it's not quite reactive when it comes to kills. Now, Dexter has started to walk further forward, try and cut one of those rotates, and he does exactly that.
Seeing the FAMAS as well, Yabby's shoulder was peeking out. The position, they'll swing together, and they'll get the trade. Very nicely done there by Heroic.
And now you can see OG think about a reaction back to the bottom of ramp. Now, you've got Tessus being the only player towards A as of right now. You've got Yabby and cadiaN still trying to get in from CT spawn, get over towards that sniper's nest. 50 seconds left on the clock. It feels like OG are going to end up on A here.
4 players up ramp, it seems the likely call. Heroic with 3 on the defensive, with only Shush there to hold the back lines of the B site. Will be up for the quick rotations as soon as they see contact. OG into alley. Flames, NEOFRAG, and Fiku, the 3 individuals that will try their walk. cadiaN backing up Yabby, smokes down. Tessus SMG gets that 1. No more than that. AWP of cadiaN going to provide support at the edge of the smoke. Flash is turned into NEOFRAG with back turn, but a player up towards ramp can get that trade. Indeed he does, with Fiku striking on cadiaN. It's all Shush now on the retake. Bomb plant will be secured. He makes his move.
Shush is going to start walking up. Fiku is not seeing him just yet. It's all about the reposition.
Adjusted the spray, does not see the player at sandbags, tried to turn back at the shot, but doesn't quite connect it. Nexa beats him to the punch, and indeed it will be OG up by a single round, just like it was in the first map up. Can Heroic have a good T-side? We'll find out after the break. Well, the last map, the first half ended 8-7 up for Heroic. This time it's 8-7 up for OG. Heroic turned over Inferno. Does that mean OG are going to turn over Vertigo, Dweck?
Well, I think back to some of the T-sides that you mentioned a little bit earlier on, Heroic on Vertigo have had some struggles. I think back to against Liquid in the Blast Premier full groups, we saw 0 rounds on the T-side, and against Heat, which was their last result, their last loss, was also 4 rounds on the T-side. So from Heroic today, you would imagine, considering it's been about 3 weeks since that last official, that there has been some issues addressed on the T-side, and changes have to come into the fold today.
Heroic down by a single round. I think even an 8-7 victory for them, then this second half was always going to be disgustingly difficult for them. So OG into the pistols they go. Fiku spotted one. Knows that they're going for a very fast play in towards the A side. All sorts of players stacked up towards ramp. All 5 of them are set in. OG slowing the rotations down, setting up a backstab, and ready to receive the hit.
And it's only 2 Kevlar here from Heroic. You've got 3 players buying down from nades, trying to get the full set Exy down to A.
Nades up to the boost, NEOFRAG jump facing, just for information rather than the kills themselves. No player takes damage here. Plant has been secured, and Heroic in the standoff.
Now you've got a smoke that can go down for the bomb or from Crane to try and get OG into the retake. No flash with the kit though.
Yabi in position, holding the Glock down. They're trying to swing forward, get Nexa potentially into a ninja position. cadiaN, NEOFRAG, Yabi, Nexa, cadiaN gets his kill. Dexter responded to top of white, and Flames on the backstab put down by Shush. It's a pistol for Heroic.
And that is a very creative pistol round coming through from Heroic. So one thing that they did, which didn't actually reap any rewards, was the double HE stack on pistol towards Orange at that headshot angle, the cross smokes as well. They even had a molly that came into the action. So a lot of nades being purchased down onto that pistol, and you could just see how solid that post plant was. The crossfires established just ripped through.
An OG pushed into an early back foot here on the CT side. The Eagles, SMG in for Nexa. Heroic had their moments of lights out potential. On the T side, Lions down is going to get caught by NEOFRAG though. cadiaN's AK into the site, struggles with his sprays against several individuals. They'll all get tagged up. Heavy damage sustained as they fall back from Heroic.
And now they've got to make a decision. Do they double pump or do they start a reaction elsewhere? Because they don't have any map control outside of ramp. And for OG, they haven't gamble stacked it all the way. There's only 3 on A.
Slowing things down to a crawl once again, as has been the case for this entire series. So many slow T-side defaults. Heroic trying to charge forward, flashes through. Flames, Eagle watching. Matt and TSS having his backs turned towards him, and just like that, Heroic turned the whole situation around. Any doubts you might have had about them taking this site has been mitigated by the bomb plant and a 1v4 for Vertigo.
That was brilliant from Heroic. The idea that you've taken damage, you lose down, you think, okay, this could be a bit rough. We might be in for a bit of a battle on this site take, and they slow it to a, like you said, an absolute crawl. They allow themselves to play off of the util, and you could just see that MAC-10 getting into a very dangerous position up there from default, but looking down the yellow sight line. That multi-frag presents itself in from Yabi. You have Tessus getting into the action too. And then for Fiku, there's not much that you can do but hold on to the Deagle, bring it into the next round. Heroic are looking for a double-digit 10-8 scoreline now.
Looking like to get it as well. That was the force buy there from OG, so harsh eco. Very tiny amount being saved in the grand scale of things here for the follow-up. It's a nice solid start for the T side, for the Danes to mount up their offensive and try to take it back on OG's own map pick. Give them a good run for their money in the previous one. The lead gain can now lead to the 2-0 if Heroic are on for it. Smokes on, flashes forward for TSS. Yabi moving forward first into mid, Fiku down.
Immediately being able to crack open that mid-offensive, try and see if he can follow up as well. You've got a slight boost towards the yellow angle for NEOFRAG. This could at least set up the dig.
Unless cadiaN checks it, which he barely doesn't. NEOFRAG getting the tags off and the kill back through the wall bang. Caught him sleeping a little bit for the Heroic side. At least the 4-on-3 is ensued. The SMG of Tessa shouldn't have many worries in dealing with these two. Or at least that one frag on from NEOFRAG. Flames takes it back, grabs that AK as well that was dropped from cadiaN. So now there's a rifle that OG can save into this round. I don't know whether Heroic want to go hunting for this.
It does get slightly expensive here for the OG side. You think about the pressure that they're going to be applying down to the economy state of Heroic with Tessa's falling and so for cadiaN. And I think NEOFRAG's putting on quite a showing right now. The idea that he's actually the second lowest rated player on OG when it comes to Vertigo officials in the last 3 months. He's putting on quite the performance to try and get them over the line. And you consider someone like him, I mean, he played with Sinners at one of the V4 Future Sports festivals. He played, obviously, Get Dubai and ESL Challenger Melbourne with OG. But he's actually not a player that's experienced much high-level LAN.
That was definitely his breakout sort of performance in that team and in that tournament.
Oh, Sinners, without a doubt, was his great stepping stone to allowing himself to have experience at Tier 1.
Been part of OG for the last 5 months. The fact that he's been one of the lowest rated players isn't very encouraging in terms of the grand scale of things for OG, but certainly for this map, it doesn't seem like it's having much of an effect on him overall. What is the situation? Headsets are coming off right now. I think there's a tech pause being called in. A tactical was just used by OG. I think they might have something might have happened there.
All right.
I'm not sure this will be live very soon, but we'll find out.
They use the tactical now. There's two ways of looking at this. You can have a look at the avenue that this is very early. I mean, we're still going into round 19, and they've already used all of their tacs. But then the other avenue is, well, you need the tacs to find a response. And for Heroic's point of view, they've come out of the half with 3 rounds in a row, and they're looking lethal. They're getting a strong lead at the moment. OG need to respond quickly, because if they don't, they're going to be on the back foot again. And if we look back at what happened in the second half of Inferno, it was a stomp.
OG. Rifles brought out on both sides, automatics across the board. Yabby has seen the first, forcing him back. NEOFRAG is the man to take the damage towards the ramp default. Dexter into the engagement, and Yabby gets that kill. Looks for Nexa, and sprays him down the same. That is a sick sequence.
So much impact off of the back of that. You can see the slight distraction from the rest of his teammates out from ramp. You've now got Shush and Co acting towards a B stairs and right through the head of Fiku. Well, this is done. This is 11.
Yeah. And
just after OG took attack, that's the worst feeling in the world.
I'm not sure what happened with OG there in that pause. You could see there was frustrations on their faces for some reason. Hopefully they haven't been tilted by whatever that situation was. Flames is down, and now NEOFRAG, last man in the round, going to be hunted by Stown. Oh, this is a disastrous situation. Heroic, 11-8. OG conceding 4 on the trot in this second half.
I don't think it was anything to do with like a tilt factor. I think it was just Yabby rolled them. The idea that you've got a single individual walk mid and just crack 2 sick kills, and then it gets followed up with the entry over at B. I mean, what can Fiku do against this from Shush? There's nothing that you can do. Absolutely nothing.
Half invest now for OG with the hero up for Dexter. He was lights out on Inferno, and now he's kind of dipped down below the curtain. Backed up away from the stage. Doesn't share the limelight with the top fragments anymore. Nexus Deagle, though, looks to try step up. Decent shot. Yabby down. Shush and cadiaN forced back by a HE. So OG have the start.
Well, this is promising. The idea that you've done damage down with the HE placement for Shush and cadiaN to about 50 points of health. You've already dealt with Yabby, and you've got a hero AWP with surrounding upgraded pistols with armor. You can see a massive amount of potential in this round already shaping up to be a steal for OG.
Molotov of Stown sent up and over the Nexa. Force some positions out from the B side. OG not really moving too much. Heroic opting to go towards the A default now. Dexter's in position to try receive it and connects that shot.
More impact being landed now, and for OG, this just starts building for them. So much promise in the round of round 20. And cadiaN, Shush, and Stown to recover a 3v5. At least they've got top ramp control.
Hero half by steal for OG would be fantastic to set themselves up to start on the CT side. One man's been seen, 2 men been seen now by Shush. Out towards mid, cadiaN does cut Fiku off from the rotations. A backstab from Nexa, though. Rifle to get gained, and they run straight into him. He gets the kill against the bomb carrier. Confusion from Shush, wasn't expecting that. Stown recovers it, but it's still a 3-on-2 for OG, and the rotation's coming in quick to the B sites.
And cadiaN has to try and get some entries. Try and put some pressure down onto the CTs getting into position. And that's it. They might still fall after time, though.
Flames runs in with his knife pulled out, so no chance to get that kill. OG don't recover any rifles, but they do steal the round from Heroic. A lot of cash available for the T side, so they will just buy right back.
Yeah, so it might be Heroic realizing they were just out of time, because you have to consider that was actually some time wasting from Nexa's point of view. The idea that he gets a kill at the forklift, he then pulls Stown for a fraction longer, and then that's it. You've lost your window. You need it to go instantly. 1 round for OG, but think back to that first half, Jay, and how many individual rounds we saw from them. They need to get a streak going.
Yeah, Heroic answer back. OG are in trouble. Vitally important that they string it together too, that they find the 10th round. The defaults, just like they've been so far from Heroic, are careful, considerate, and slow.
You've only got a single kit into the hands of Nexa, and already a massive amount of nades have been drawn towards this ramp control. HE placements have not gone into center of mass. It's been some chip damage here or there. The AWP is still holding quite aggressively from Dexter, repositioning from 51.
Pushing in ahead of the smoke, does see one, but only a leg shot gained against him. Flames will be the man to fall. Dexter upgrading to the M4, downgrading, I guess you could say, but to engage at close range against Down is the better weapon. He still loses the fight anyway. 5-on-3 for Heroic.
This isn't looking good. Not good at all for OG. And Stound's going to try and sell him on the A-fake. He's going to try and pull as much distraction over here as possible.
Haven't seen anything on NEOFRAG. Next, I might think that he's back out towards Alan. He always bunches up the backstab instead. Fiku seeing utility come in, gets a spray on one man, needs to win a fight against the second, and he's defended B successfully. A counter rotate comes back, but NEOFRAG is in, and cadiaN takes him right back out.
And look at how fast Down is up to that A site. He can get into Sniper's Nest. I don't think OG will have an idea of just how aggressive he can be.
Cleared all angles, nothing stopping him from pushing forward here. Make their way forward. Gun barrel seen just so quick. Fiku now alone. 14 HP, did great to hold the site. But this is a clutch he cannot win here. And that is the worst case scenario for OG. They needed the follow-up, and that's what they failed to get.
I do feel for the young man there, Fiku, because that's not his fault. He does everything right. He is the B anchor. He multi-frags. He stops them committing to the BXE, but his teammates let him down, getting caught on the over-rotation from NEOFRAG down there at Bridge. You then have Dexter obviously not expecting that much of an aggressive approach out from the Sniper's Nest. Fiku's trying his best to hold on to the AK, but it's just not to be. And that's the reset. That is the round that Heroic were looking for. And we spoke about the chance of needing to push rounds in a row. Doesn't happen. It's only an individual.
And Heroic could afford to go for that hunt because they've got a lot of cash in reserve. OG, their buyback is going to look very strained. Hero M4, upgrade pistols, the Kevlar on the board. 3 rounds to the good for Heroic. OG sit pretty on the defensive. Flashing from Tessa's going to be a little bit more aggressive this time.
And look up towards that boost at Orange just to make sure that nothing's coming in. NEOFRAG getting the smoke down, try and cancel any reaction, anything pacey to come up from that alley entrance. You can see Heroic and how much map control they've gained towards A already.
cadiaN just throw a smoke off the building.
Yeah, they get another lurk one. It's okay.
Okay, I was a little bit confused what he was trying to achieve there. What he achieves against Flames certainly is fantastic, but NEOFRAG's Deagle claps back against 2, only 2. Stound traced to a 3-on-3, and now the walk from Shush makes his way up the B stairs.
And this is where the space is going to start being taken here from Shush. You've got an over-rotation once again from OG towards that A site, thinking about a gamble, and it's a gamble that isn't going to pay off at all.
Miku's watching mid as the Molotovs start coming in towards the B site. Yami's going to cut that rotation. Flash is over, bomb will go down safely. Retake mode, what can Yabi gain out of this? Nothing against Fiku, he's crossed towards CT successfully.
I actually wouldn't mind OG going for a prod around here. Now, there are weapons to get recovered towards the top of ramp, knowing that both Tessus and cadiaN went down, but there's still workability in the round, not to win, but to look for exits and to keep the economy down low, because money is spiraling out of control for Heroic. It's so strong.
You know, a tough time resetting in the future. OG might have to rely on just bringing the game back from that point. They do focus on those guns, though, and for a half buy, the fact that they have this AK and this M4 for free is going to bolster their own economy state. But at this stage, Heroic off 13-9. 3 rounds away from being Rio Legends. And OG have to think of a new game plan. Tech pause before we press the issue. I should think it might be attack pause by technicality. Again, I'm not sure what happened there with that 4th hack, so I think the admins have given them a 1 because I don't think they actually had any discussions there in that previous tactical, so it's called in for Rugged to have a discussion and for OG to reorientate themselves.
Now this could be a conversation. Doesn't matter what the map is or what the halves are. We are noticing 2 maps in a row comfortability in the second half for Heroic. And it tells me that the longer these maps go out, the stronger that they get. It could be a readability point of view or just a momentum standpoint. But we have not seen OG put up much of a fight in the second half of Vertigo, their map pick, or even the second half of the first map, Inferno.
Guns are in for OG here. Nade damage done towards Shush, but NEOFRAG took some util damage of his own. Shush going to get boosted up. Down, allowing to get towards bang up, but no one's watching it directly. He's allowed a lot of map control, a lot of aggression here from the heroic side. Flashes in against the T side. Fiku gets that kill. Damage done to Tesses next, so they've held the line and forced Heroic to fall back.
Fiku's been rock solid as a B anchor in these last individual rounds. You can see the way that he's piling that damage on. Shush the drop with that aggressive danger setup. Dexter watching out from mid. Yabby's going to hear that. Heroic thinking about the double pump.
Man advantage for OG, almost 2, with Tesses being on 6 points of health. Again, big hold from Fiku. Just to block them, not to stop them. cadiaN down. Utility sent up. That flashbang keeping the cross locked out on the second piece of utility. It's definitively a B hit, though. There's no fakes involved. The bomb's on the back of cadiaN here.
Well, the fake is the double pump. It's actually now turning into a triple pump here from Heroic. And for OG, they've stacked up the B bomb site really effectively. You've got the jump spotter from NEOFRAG towards ramp, so he's calling a lot of information that he's not seeing anything at A.
Two mollies sent Fiku, backed up, flash in, swings, sprays, very open against Yabby. Nexa tagged low, Fiku gets a secondary kill, but Yabby is in with a response. Nexa, such low HP, Yabby can line up 2, gets the first, not the second. Flames holds the line, 10 seconds to get the bomb down here. It's pretty open up, Flames could deny it at this stage. The flash is through, and he does stick it, but it's all Tesses. 6 HP on the clutch, 1 on 3, can't make it happen. OG in with 10.
What a round from the Polish man of Fiku. Just to set that round up, to be that initial site defender, to get the first kill, to do further damage onto Testes, but end that round with 2. With that multi-frag, well-deserved from him. That gets OG up to double digits. The issue is here, how do they affect the economy state? OG are going to need 3, 4 strong rounds in a row to reset Heroic. It's not going to be easy.
Guns will be right back for them, you're right. Bomb plant bonus will bolster the buy for round 25 as well for Heroic. OG found their second round in the half though, and that might be the bigger concern for them. Stack up this CT side. Need to break the backs of Heroic. Flashes forward. One man at sandbags. NEOFRAG and Yabby go back and forth. NEOFRAG known at tops. Aggress Bond and Dexter's Nade will get a pick back of his own. Shush caught off. Reduced to 1 now. Stown 1 on 4. Bomb drop for OG, and it looks like they will have a second in a row.
NEOFRAG with the lockout defense towards that top of ramp. Stown trying to get into the action. NEOFRAG up to 23. And I think we can pretty much call it now that if OG are going to send this to a third map, it's going to be because of NEOFRAG. His consistency has been so impactful across both the first half and the second. His multi-killing prowess is what's pushing him so far up the tally.
And player, we leveled some criticism at the start of the series. Coming into his own, you mentioned him, second lowest player rated for OG on Vertigo, and here he stands as highest man on the board for his team. Tactical taken by Heroic. Only their second used so far, so they've got a few more of those to pull out. Probably when we get to 13-13 and the guns come back for them. Money should see the buyback from Heroic here.
You start thinking to yourself from the Heroic point of view, 2,400 in the next round, you get a bomb plant, you might be able to get another buy together. Heroic. Jeez, I'm surprised they have not full bought this actually. They've actually halved it.
Gets a couple of rifles, but yeah, I'm just as stunned as you are. Yabby could even drop the AWP. Swing in for Flames, gets down. Tesses Tech 9 gets the pick back, the follow-up, and that might be why they went for the half-buy.
Oh, mate, that is such a start into the round. Now, you've got Shush still maintaining some of the control towards mid. They've over-rotated a lot of the CTs to A, and now it's the counter-action. Heroic are going to start sending that bomb to B. This could be an absolute steal from them.
They very quickly prod for information, thinking there might be potential for a rotate, seeing nothing down towards ramp. The mid prod to come through. Backs are not turned to the CT side here for Heroic. Rotations will start to come in from Dexter, who will try bolster up the back of the B side, but Nexa backed up with Fiku on the back lines. And Heroic have absolutely no idea about this.
This timing is excellent. Yabby might be able to respond quickly with a trade, but it comes down to how much does he spot onto Nexar.
cadiaN not caught. Boost has been burst through. It's a little bit risky, but the bomb gets dropped for it. Now Fiku strikes on Shush, and it all falls apart for Heroic. It was a fantastic start with that Tech 9. You thought that Tessus would have won it, but no. One position left unchecked, unaccounting the backstab, and it cost them the round.
You can see how important that info play was. The idea that you're down by one, you start maneuvering to the top of ramp together as a unit. The last three individuals of Dexter, Nexa, and Fiku, and they spot nothing. So you get Dexter down underneath to wrap into the B stairs. You have Fiku goes up the ladder, and then Dexter that comes through from CT spawn. Very well handled there for OG.
I think a knife went into the back of NEOFRAG out of spawn, though.
You're right, definitely.
That's not encouraging. At a tier 1 level, you shouldn't be doing that. If it makes the difference in this round, Heroic get an easy kill, and then that turns the whole round to their favor, then OG, whoever got that knife, will be kicking themselves. Smoke set, Fiku trying to press back of his own right. And OG wait for contact on Heroic.
No AWP coming through from Dexter, which is interesting, considering the fact that money's very good. They could have afforded it, but they opt against it. They want to try and bring the 5 rifles into the fold instead. Now, Heroic have to retake this bottom ramp control because OG pushed it themselves.
They've backed off, which they're not aware of just yet, but they will have to make that move in soon. Counter Flames back from Flames. Nades on Tessus doing a little bit of damage, but still nothing quite on what NEOFRAG's about to chunk. 3 players in from mid. The walks through uncontested, but there's still 2 players on the B side defense. Tessus holding attention back here over at Ali.
They're just trying to force them further forward, bait some further util. Nexa's the only one that's got utility to hold down B.
Molotov at the feet of the fire. Yabby swings, gets killed off. Second player waiting for him to swing forward. He's trying to bait them. Smokes in. Extinguish the fire. 20 seconds. Road going to make that move, and Fiku continues to hold quads down with a trade. Nexa watching the outside of the site. cadiaN dropping in. 4 on 3 for OG. Bomb's got to get planted, and Stown playing so close to CT contact. Needs to get something out of this. Smoke's about to clear, but Dexter drops. Stown and Tessus provide backup to their veteran, and NEOFRAG is left alone.
Oh my goodness, when that smoke starts to clear, you start favoring the CTs. You think that they're going to be able to have the counteraction. What a crossfire that is. And now NEOFRAG's even being watched. Does isolate the first, doesn't have a smoke for the bomb though.
And won't have a chance of getting on it in the first place. Tessus puts him back in his place. 14-12, Heroic back up 2 in the lead.
2 more. 2 more to close it down. And you could just see on that post plant how much influence there was on fighting immediately. As soon as the smoke starts to clear. Up there from CT spawn, up to the scaffolding position. 2 more to tie up, 2 more to go. And even Nexa, you thought that it was enough. The idea that he slows it down, he gets a pick, Fiku's able to get one from quad. It feels as if there's enough of an advantage there for OG to get the retake on.
Well, an encouraging sign to see a tech pause from Heroic immediately after taking such a big round. You felt like they were going to get shut down by what OG were bringing to the table, particularly in that half bite. Now it looks like cadiaN's got some tech problems with his PC. Hopefully it should have been resolved by now. It is a momentum stop though, a massive one for Heroic, and one that OG will need to thrive upon.
Have we still got any games going down on the mainstream, Joe?
For the European RMR? Well, Outsiders Falcons is 1-1 right now on the second map.
Okay.
Outsiders took map 1 of that series. Meanwhile, over in Sweden, in America land, which that sounds like an oxymoron, I know, but Complexity are taking on Imperial for the last spot in the Americas RMR. Currently 14-12 on map 1. Imperial lead by only a couple of rounds, so those very interesting matches that will still play on. Heroic move in. Flames caught off by Tessets. Very fast out the gate off the back of the round starting. NEOFRAG locks out 2, down with the trade, but a 3v2 for Heroic.
Just manic, absolute chaos there coming through from the top of ramp, and you can see how much impact NEOFRAG finds off the back of it. Now, Stound's expecting some backstab aggression, someone to rotate in from bridge. You've got a pressed up Fiku, but he hasn't gone all the way.
Again, Heroic slowing it down, stopping the pace. Holding position. Waiting for the moves. The rotation's back. There's a player downstairs already, though. Look at Fiku. They go for the rotation. They've got to get that kill against him. So they focus entirely on the A site.
Now, OG know they've been caught too many times repositioning underneath. So you can see why Fiku's not going all the way. And even re-smoking the B stairs is kind of the tell there that Heroic expect Fiku to still be on the B passive.
45 seconds to the hit. Smoke's coming down from the T side. Dexter and Nexa are going to be siphoned off from each other. Molotovs forcing out a smoke used from the back lines. Know that Nexa must be there. Re-smoke on from Stounder, buy some cover, flashes in. Get that bomb across, get it planted.
Oh, cadiaN drops immediately, and even Stound's taking a lot of damage. Can't get out of there. See the HE placement in with the incendiary is just enough. And OG get the retake on, which doesn't even feel like a retake. 13 up now. And Heroic, the money state is pretty good, but it's not good enough for a buy. We might see another one of these heroes.
A half investment, if you ask me. Hero rifle, yeah, fair enough, but from everyone else, pistols, Kevlar, take it on the chin, see what you can do with the Tech 9s. I mean, they almost won a round with a Tech 9 previously. We saw that. Another tactical called in at the right time for Exist. Their third one used. Heroic, 2 out of 3 in the second half being called. And still one more in the back pocket. OG are hanging in there, but by a small thread.
And we've seen OG winning the last 4 out of 5 when it comes to the CT basis. So putting on quite a good showing in these last handful of rounds. They'll be happy with what they've been able to pick up. And from Heroic's point of view, it's how much impact gets granted in a round like this. We're seeing some upgraded pistols. We're seeing some Kevlar, some utility. This could go right down to the wire.
Fast up from one of the pistols here. The Deagle and P250 taking position. Unable to find the strikes. They'll back away. Back in towards mid-control. They'll play.
Got to imagine it's going to be aggressive. Pop their way forward. Dexter is going to spot for a lot of information deep in CT spawn.
Nice angle for the AK. Smokes onto his position with flashes to support. Nade on. Nice damage being done. Dexter with a swing. Catches one player off the CT spawn. Double up. Triple spray. Quadra game with the taps. And nothing is found on the half by.
Nothing at all. Won't be happy with that one. 14 to 14. Now, it feels like if we're talking about a reset potential, it's more so Heroic that are going to be in the difficult stance because of if they don't have the bomb plant and the lost bonus. But this is looking super promising for these last couple of rounds for OG.
Within one of taking map point as well. Heroic need one to take match point. And you're right about that reset potential. Look at the reserves in for the CT side. Look at Flames making his way quickly up to position. Heroic, we're feeling like we're going to challenge so early, putting a lot of flashbangs out here. Swing forward for Testes. Doesn't get anything. NEOFRAG with a double instead. Rips apart the first contact. Heroic down to 3 men.
Oh, NEOFRAG again. One of those multis. And now it starts shifting the offensive up to the B stairs.
Next a scene. Fiku flash. Molotov sent as he should get driven away. Back up to the back of the site. Shush presses forward.
It's all about catching a timing. A lot of mid-influence right now for OG. And Shush, all he needs to do is create a path to get the bomb down.
It to play with. Molotovs in from cadiaN. Vertigo forced back. Spray lines up 2, only gets 1. Shush with a response of a potential recovery as he doubles it up and the bomb gets planted.
He needs help from cadiaN, who's actually going to aggress rather than fall back.
Ah, but he sees them both, can't line up the spray back, and Shush on 5 HP won't last long. A bomb plant for Heroic might set them up for a buy, but it's map point for OG here on Vertigo.
that bomb plant's going to help out. We saw that they were on 2,900 loss bonus, so with that extra bomb plant, you're looking at about 3,700 each. It gives yourself enough for AK armor, be light on util. Might have to see a couple of players go down to Galil's. OG and NEOFRAG. What an impact he found there towards Ram.
Look at the buy from Heroic coming in. Galil already for Yabi, limiting factors. A bomb plant was not enough. A tactical has been called in for Heroic. Right time to do so. Meanwhile, you see at the bottom of your screen, an auto sniper has been brought in by OG. They are playing with confidence, and they're going to play to wipe Heroic out here. Take it 16-14, move to 3 maps. Taking their own map pick and forcing us off to Mirage.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to use it. It might be something that they use in Spawn in case they want to spam up, or perhaps just a sequence because they've got the extra money, but everybody else has got rifles, so we might not see any of the auto sniper.
Is left there for the time being. Heroic a Mach 10 to back up TSS, 3 AKs. A swing in for Flames. Round 30. It'll either be map victory for OG or overtime for Heroic. Smokes are up here to the ramp position to suppress vision and suppress contact.
And TSS needs to try and hold them at bay, get a lurk smoke forward, get a flash over the top. Now you've got 2 on B establishing a crossfire. That's Fiku and Nexa. They've got double HEs. It's whether they get timed correctly.
When do they put them out? Fiku. Backline of the site been so solid in this position, and back of Plat as well. Shush on the boost ups down at Banger. Checking the back site, particularly seeing one. Fiku unawares of. Nice nade on Shush. That's to set up the kill pretty nicely. Having accounted for quad once again. They get that trade, but Nexa so quick to get the advantage back for OG. 4 on 3 for the CT side. Molotov sent, nades on site. Should be evaded by the majority of T-side players. Bomb trying to commit, but all the CTs are up here now.
They might even try and hunt in before that bomb gets planted. As soon as they hear that bomb going down, they can try the retake.
Flash is keeping the T-side players blind. Heroic need to be gifted a lifeline here. TSS has seen one of the headshot angle. Nexa swings out, Flash supported, kills off Yabi. TSS down, and cadiaN tapped up by NEOFRAG. It's 16-14 for OG as they send us to map 3.
My goodness, what a resurgence that was coming through from OG when you consider the fact that it was a 9-13 deficit. They win 7 out of the past 8 rounds to take their map and to send it to Mirage. That's got to be a great feeling for the international squad.
It was a struggle and a half to get there, but so was the first map in this series. So we will play out our full best of 3 with Mirage.